people. Today we are doing another cozy chit chat, paint and chat with me. Today I'm doing my OCD story time of how I realized I had OCD and how I found out I had OCD and my struggles and my symptoms that I had. So we're gonna go ahead. These are the colors we're using. I'm gonna show you the painting up here. We're gonna use this. We're gonna make a Christmas festive reindeer. And first all, we are going, these are the paintbrushes I got before from Amazon. And the paint is all from Amazon. I will try to find all my stuff. I can list down below if you guys want to get this. These are some pencils that my boyfriend got me at the mall. So I don't really know where you can find these. They're just colored pencils. We're just going to outline what we're going to paint and then start painting it from there. So I'm going to go ahead and find something to dip the paint out on, and I will be right back. I'm back. I already started a little bit. This is what it looks like. So we're going to talk about some of the first symptoms of OCD that I can remember that I had. So this would probably be around 2007, 2008. I was like 7 or 8. I was born in 2000. So basically, my mom took care of elderly people and I went to work with her. And I was homeschooled a period of time of this, like kind of homeschooled, it's hard to explain. Kind of more like unschooling, wasn't learning anything. So anyway, I started having fears like when I would go into the bathroom and I saw deodorant, and I had this crazy fear that I was going to get it in my mouth somehow by going into the bathroom, and that somehow that was going to hurt me like severely, so I started fears of that, and then I started fears of the laundromat because we had to get the laundromat, and I started the fear that I was going to somehow get the laundry detergent in my mouth and somehow that was going to hurt me, and that was going to hurt me bad. So these fears started me like being scared to go in the bathroom, and then it ended up getting to the point that when I was 11 or 12, we moved very far away from where originally we were from. And I remember watching a movie, and it was the one with Dakota Fanning in it, and some dude dies in it, or someone themselves in it. And I remember being scared that I was going to choke to death. So I would, trigger warning here for eating, I would spit the food out because I would think that I was starting to choke on it. And this became a real problem because I started losing weight and unable to eat anything because every time I ate, I thought I was choking to death. I would spit it out. The only thing I could eat was like pudding and gravy bread, which was like bread and then gravy on it. And this became a serious issue. I lost so much weight, and I was only 11. I had went from being like 80 some pounds to being like smaller than my little sister that was 4 years older than me. Like I could wear her clothes and I looked younger than her because I was so much smaller than her from not eating. And of course, at this time I had just gotten around to developing a relationship with my dad, and he was like, I'm gonna force feed you. I'm gonna blend up food and put it in a blender. And then no one understood why I was so scared. Like my mom took me to the doctor down there where we were at. They still couldn't figure out what was wrong. They're like, we can't see anything in our throat. They gave me a test where you drink this stuff and they watch it go down. It went down fine. There was nothing wrong. And it didn't clear up again until we moved back to where we were from. And then at that point, I got home, I started eating again, and things got a little bit better. Well, then when it got bad again was when I was pregnant with my daughter. I started having these crazy intrusive thoughts that if I ate ramen noodles or certain other food, that some type of mark was going to be on me. And this is a religious mark, and that I would never be saved because this mark would be on me, and I was terrified of it. It still is very terrifying, and it was very hard to eat. And where I'm from, I went to a counselor type thing, and I asked them, I was like, is there anything you can do to help me? And they're like, the only thing we can do is hospitalize you, but we can't take you to that hospital from here because the hospital is like an hour and some away from where I'm from. So what ended up making me better was I ended up moving out from my mom's house, and I ended up moving in with my aunt, and I ended up getting a job where I wasn't stuck in the house all the time. Because for some reason, being stuck with my mom, being around where I grew up, And then being stuck in the house constantly was not good for me. As soon as I got out, I joined a program where they help young adults. And this was able to suck me out of my mind a lot. And I was able to start, coping better and start eating and functioning right after I got around people and I wasn't in my head so much. And I finally had a place at the time that I thought was stable. It wasn't as stable as it should have been, but eventually I did get a stable place. But that was one of the times when it got real bad. As you guys know, if you guys have watched my last paint chat with me on Thanksgiving, I was getting some pretty bad thoughts. When my life changes, that's when it starts to get really, really bad. But yeah, that was how, as far as I can remember with my OCD. And I brought it up to the doctor. I didn't even know I had OCD and that these were intrusive thoughts. I knew they were intrusive thoughts, but I didn't know exactly that I had OCD till recently. I just knew that this is a miserable state of being, and I fear these periods of time in my life because they're usually evolved around food of some type, and they're terrifying. They are very hard to stop. But yeah, so if any of you guys are struggling, I'll put down the hotlines down below. I have started painting, and we're going to paint a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about some ways that have helped my OCD and things that have brought me back from that. So brought me back from my OCD episodes when they've been really bad, and ways that I cope with them during the holidays, and ways that I cope with them in everyday life. So we're going to get into that. The first way that I started to cope with it was to get out more. So for some reason, me being stuck in the house just is not good for me, just does not work for me. Like, I have to get out and be around other people. I have to work. But if you can't work, if you're having really bad symptoms and you can't work, never push yourself. But my thing would be go to the library, find free things to do in your town. Like, if you have a local libraries are amazing. I love reading. I just got back into reading. It actually helps me to go and socialize too. And you can also go to your local coffee shop. If you have a local coffee shop, go there, sit down, drink a coffee. You never know, just getting out around people, how much that can help you. That is one of the biggest things that has helped me, was getting out around people. And then I had to start pushing myself to eat, because they said that the treatment that my psychiatrist said is exposure therapy is what they do to treat OCD. I have not really taken exposure therapy. I have made myself eat before, so I guess it's similar. But another way that has helped me is walks, getting out, exercising. I know everyone says this, but getting out and walking around my town, just looking at lights now because it's holiday, just getting out, that helps the racing thoughts, and that has been able to help my intrusive thoughts. It helps quiet my mind down, and I very much find peace with that. Also, another thing is color. I found that coloring helps bring me back to the moment too. When I color, it helps me. When I was in the hospital, somebody bought me a coloring book with pens from the hospital gift shop. Loved it. It was amazing. I had really bad episodes in there, where I was really upset and really scared, and I dealt with some hard things while I was in there. And even though I started medication, I was still struggling. I still struggle with anxiety. It helps to quiet me down and make me feel something. It helps to bring kind of peacefulness to me. Another tip that might help you to cope with that has helped me cope is so the rituals and things in my head, you have to let them pass. You have to let your mind go through and let the thought exist. But if you fight the thought, the more you fight the thought, I've found, is the worse that it is. I do eat ramen noodles now, not often, not because of my mental disorder. I just did myself out with them. But those are some things. Getting out has really helped me because being in your head so much is not good for you. It's okay to have time alone with yourself, but it is also good to get out and try to experience life. That has helped me so much. Even with postpartum depression, hands down, that helped me so much. But yeah, that is some ways that has helped me. Of course, I'm not a mental health professional. Those are just ways that have helped me. Stability and routine. I know people harp on that. Routine is very big for me because my OCD gets triggered really bad when my routine gets messed up or when everything feels unstable in my life. It seems to be when my OCD rears its ugly head so much. Lately it hasn't been too bad. It has been kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, even going to film was really hard. But I want to overcome my OCD. I don't want it to control the way that I live. I want to be able to be free and live my life, because this has been, I have a couple mental health disorders. I have BPD traits, I have CPTSD, I have OCD, I have generalized anxiety disorder, I have MDD. All of these things make life difficult, but I don't want them to stop me. And I don't want them to stop you guys either. I want you guys to be able to live a fulfilled life because of that. So, yeah, thank you guys for sitting with me while I paint. I'm going to speed up the clip of me painting. So, you guys, this is what it looks like so far. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but thank you guys for watching this paint and chit chat with me. And if you guys want to see more videos around this, let me know.
It's the end of the year. Everywhere on TV, couples and Christmas trees, gift wrapping and cheer. Just the worst time to be without someone special. In all the movies they're kissing in the snow, holding hands and mittens, baking together at home. I like the movies when I'm walking in the snow, cold hands and mittens, eating gingerbread home alone. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, snowflakes in my hair, carols playing in the air. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, red bow in my hair, sleigh bells in the air. The only thing I'm missing is you.